Dario Gil, Dr. Dario Gil, IBM Senior Vice President and Director of Research, to say a few words. Dr. Gil leads the technology roadmap and the technical community across all of IBM, directing innovation strategies in areas such as hybrid cloud, AI, quantum computing, and exploratory sciences. Dr. Gil is responsible for IBM Research, one of the world's largest, most premium, most influential corporate research labs, with over 3,000 researchers. He is the 12th director in the 76 years of history of IBM Research. He's also responsible for IBM's intellectual property, strategy, and businesses. So, Dr. Gil, I welcome you to the stage.
Well, thank you. And what a joy to be here with all of you today. I'd like to begin by thanking Your Excellency, President Dr. Ruto, Your Excellency, Ambassador Whitman, Honorable Cabinet Secretaries for Information, Communications, and the Digital Economy, other Cabinet Secretaries and Principal Secretaries, and of course, Solomon, Charity. We're so proud of you, of taking over this wonderful responsibility, and all the guests here today. Solomon once told me a story that I have not forgotten. We were working on a water resource management project mapping boreholes here in Kenya. And he and an official from USAID flew a small plane over the countryside. From the plane, he fired up the IBM research tool that mapped all the data and called back to the lab that it mirrored exactly what he was seeing from the window of the plane in real time. Of course, that wasn't always the case. No continent on Earth boasts a technology legacy as old or as foundational as Africa. Yet here on the continent where humankind first invented the very concept of technology, centuries of external exploitation and the lingering challenges that history bore have today left Africa as our least computerized continent. But history is not destiny. And when IBM looked at the landscape of the world 10 years ago, we saw in Africa a limitless potential for innovation, a wellspring of skills and insights that could rival any place here on Earth. So we took a bold step, opening our first lab in Africa, right here in Nairobi. Not long after, we broke ground on our second lab at Wits University in Johannesburg. And over the last 10 years, these labs have contributed to building the future of computing for this continent. Our mission at the outset was to apply IBM's transformative technology vision to the local needs of countries and communities across the continent. And thus far, our progress has been remarkable. From cloud technologies to machine learning to quantum computing, in sectors from healthcare to agriculture to manufacturing, our homegrown innovations have taken root. We have licensed technology to local startups, open-sourced innovations, and integrated groundbreaking solutions into IBM's global product lines. Our African labs have contributed more than 300 patents and generated real results. They've created AI tools to fight climate change, an app to connect homes and businesses with solar power technologies, a deep learning model to help predict and preempt breast cancer. This is not just research. It is a movement empowering economic transformation all across the continent. But there is still so much more that needs to be done. First, addressing the climate crisis is a top priority. This is a pressing issue everywhere, but especially so in areas that rely on rain-fed agriculture and are commonly plagued by drought. We recently developed tools to help scientists and policymakers make evidence-based decisions on climate. These technologies can predict floods and their impact on supply chains, predict the effect of urban heat islands on the health of potentially vulnerable portions of the population, visualize biomass such as tree cover, and determine the amount of carbon it's capable of sequestering. Recently, IBM signed a memorandum of understanding with the Office of the Special Climate Envoy of the Government of Kenya to use our AI geospatial technology to help adopt a water tower initiative, part of the National Tree Growing and Restoration Campaign to plant 15 billion trees by 2032. Second, we must fight bias in AI systems. Biases ingrained in AI technology can lead to systemic disadvantages to marginalized individuals and groups, and they can arise at multiple points in AI development. That's why we are working to ensure future AI systems that are built fairly. IBM researchers in Africa were some of the main contributors to the AI 360 Fairness Toolkit, an open source manual that can help reduce systematic bias in AI models. Third, using computing offers extraordinary opportunities to improve health. We partner with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to develop AI toolkits that help inform decision-making when it comes to investing in global health. Our project is focused on identifying why it is that some groups of women and babies disproportionately are at risk during childbirth. Another project created a platform to inform our approach to malaria by learning from simulations and efficiently generating ideas for interventions. Fourth, we must work to increase financial access and inclusion. We're working to address a perennial problem, ensuring that millions of unbanked people in Africa can access the credit they need to start businesses, pursue great ideas, and grow their communities. Our approach is helping a local bank that provides mobile microloans serve their communities more effectively. Our machine learning techniques help them predict the probability of default more accurately than ever before, empowering them to drive resources to support those local efforts most likely to thrive. And finally, we must take a quantum leap in computing. Quantum technology has the potential to solve some of the most intractable problems facing the world today. Back in 2017, IBM Research stood up the first working group on quantum computing in South Africa, the first of its kind on the continent. Since then, it's blossomed even further. We have hosted more than 100 internships across both labs and foster local talent. Today, nearly 70% of the researchers, scientists, software engineers, and managers at the lab are local talent. One of our researchers started with us as an undergraduate intern. We hired them as a software engineer, then they pursue, as you heard, a master's and a PhD, and now they're back at the lab as a PhD-level research scientist. Another important aspect is the creation of a collaborative ecosystem that encourages innovation. We have partnerships with institutions across academia, industry, government, and startups to share knowledge and spur on innovation for the entire region, including a popular educational series on AI and a youth science program that's attracting hundreds of kids to each session. And we're helping the African Research Universities Alliance with 15 university members across 9 countries to enhance training in quantum computing to help build the workforce of tomorrow. The future today is as bright as it's ever been. A full 60% of Africa's population is under 25 years old. This population boom will spur new ideas and new demands. staying on top of the biggest issues facing the continent, from research into traditionally overlooked tropical diseases to climate change mitigation, will be top priorities for Africa in the future. True to our long-standing tradition of excellence in regional work around the world, IBM is proud to work with Africa's local governments to help them navigate the challenges and the opportunities ahead. As my good friend Dr. Asefa has said, we're doubling down on the future. I look forward to the progress ahead as all Africans build an innovative, prosperous future for Africa. Thank you.
And now, Your Excellency, to another leader who really loves Kenya, Ambassador Meg Whitman, U.S. Ambassador to Kenya. A round of applause.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and hamjambo. And I am the Chief Marketing Officer of Kenya. But I'm very pleased to join His Excellency President William Ruto and his ICT team to celebrate IBM Research Labs' remarkable 10-year milestone in Kenya. It is great to see IBM's senior leadership here by Dario Gil, Senior Vice President and Director for IBM Research. For those that who don't understand American titles, that's a big deal. And as customary in Kenya, all protocols observed. Now, as many of you know, the President and I recently returned from a successful business roadshow to the United States with a stop in Silicon Savannah's sister region, Silicon Valley. Along with the sampling of U.S. companies doing business in Kenya, we engaged industry leaders, entrepreneurs, and venture capitalists and private investment funds, and outlined the key ease of doing business reforms that Kenya has undertaken in the last year under President Ruto's leadership. The event was a big success, and it was the perfect forum for the President to directly engage top leaders of industry to explain why technology companies should indeed invest more in Kenya. I was glad to see IBM's Chief Research Operating Officer, Jeff Welsler, deliver a testimonial in Silicon Valley on Kenya's role as a regional hub for multilateral tech companies. Many other U.S. companies also told their persuasive Kenyan stories. Together, we showcased Kenya as an attractive destination for top U.S. companies to do business in Africa. And I think our message is beginning to break through among key audiences in the United States. The roadshow itself was oversubscribed by companies eager to learn what all the excitement was about. And without giving too much away, I will tell you that some senior executives in many of these well-known companies are giving Kenya a really hard look, especially in the tech sector. IBM's Research Labs here is really a jewel that embodies the U.S.-Kenya partnership. It is creating homegrown solutions for addressing challenges and exploring opportunities across sectors. Through its cutting-edge research here, it is driving growth and development. For example, when I visited this lab in February, I was impressed by your work targeted at helping nearly 3 million residents in 5 northern Kenyan counties and their animals gain access to safe drinking water as an effective solution for a vast area affected dramatically by climate change. I also see several areas where IBM is adding real value to the Kenyan digital ecosystem. First, as a supplier of world-class tech talent to the digital ecosystem here, which is very similar to the role IBM played in seeding talent to Silicon Valley in the United States. I understand that IBM's lab here is composed of 80% African employees and 65% Kenyans, which is developing the needed talent to drive digital Africa. Second, I know IBM and other U.S. firms are real partners of Kenya by developing solutions and products that optimize the banking, agriculture, and health sectors. For example, and bolstering Kenya's cyber defense capabilities to protect vital information and infrastructure. And third, I know that IBM is looking not only at Kenya, but the rest of Africa, and is developing solutions for the African market right here in Kenya. And hopefully, some of these homegrown solutions will take off like M-Pesa and become not just an African solution, but a global solution. I think it's always important at these events to celebrate an anniversary like the 10th anniversary of IBM's research lab, to celebrate the individuals that made this possible. The researchers, the scientists, the engineers, and all the staff who pour their hearts and souls into their work every single day carried out on this campus. Your contributions are invaluable and your impact is measurable. Thank you, and please give every single member of the IBM community here a round of applause. You do amazing work. And I'd also like to congratulate the government of Kenya for creating the conducive environment necessary for IBM to establish its first Africa lab and serve the region from here in Kenya. So thank you. And here's to another decade of groundbreaking research, innovation, and collaboration, and changing the world. Thank you, IBM Kenya.
Thank you very much. Now, Your Excellency, I invite the CS, ICT, and the digital economy, Mr. Eliud Owalo, who will also invite you to speak to these good people. You're welcome.
His Excellency, the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, my cabinet colleague responsible for the functional mandate of education and research, Ezekiel Machogu, U.S. Ambassador to Kenya, Meg Whitman, Principal Secretaries present, thought leaders from the industry and CEOs, good afternoon. It is my pleasure, Your Excellency, to join this congregation because it is giving us a platform to discern the nexus between research in the technological space and innovation and creativity, which is a critical success factor for us moving forward. Your Excellency, in line with your digital transformation agenda, which you have tasked us as a ministry to operationalize, we are alive to the fact that research is imperative. And in this regard, we remain ready and available to partner with the private sector, IBM inclusive, to further this agenda. To give us more insights, Your Excellency, on the imperative of research, innovation, and this trajectory moving forward, it is my humble pleasure and duty to invite you to address the congregation. Thank you very much. Let's be outstanding.
Thank you very much, Eliud. Please let's take our seats. Thank you. Ministers present, my sister, Ambassador of the United States, Meg Whitman, the Vice President of IBM, and all the good people, researchers, the management of the university, Catholic University. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. A few days ago, I held very productive engagements with the IBM leadership team in San Francisco, California, where we reviewed the decade-long collaboration between the government of Kenya and IBM. It became clear that a broader conversation was necessary in order to build upon the legacy of this partnership in terms of innovation, achievements, and pioneering development. An engagement that extends the scope of our joint endeavor to include initiatives enhancing our capacity to deliver transformative solutions in the delivery of public services across various sectors. This event, to commemorate 10 years of IBM Research Lab, will provide us yet another opportunity to extend our conversation, appraise our achievements, evaluate our present needs, and envision a bold, disruptive path to the future built from our complementary partnership. And looking at the presentations that I went through earlier, I am persuaded that we actually have a great opportunity to do this together. It is the work of leadership to imagine a future of opportunities and solutions. And it is the work of innovators to design it, while it is the function of technology to reconcile the two, to deliver a vision of the future that is safe, secure, and sustainable. This event brings together all the necessary parties in one place, and it is only appropriate that technology, research, development, and innovation be at the heart of our quest for a prosperous, resilient, and dynamic Kenya. Over the past year, I have used numerous occasions to make a strong case for investors, multinational corporations, and technology companies to shift their strategic focus to Africa. The young, green continent of the future, and in so doing, capitalize on Kenya's geostrategic advantage as the gateway to the region and to the continent. A landscape of opportunity is unfolding on our continent. A vast market of 1.4 billion people has emerged under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area and the various interlocking regional economic blocs. Africa's population is famously young, now educated, skilled, and motivated. The continent is abundantly endowed with natural resources, including critical minerals required for the global transition into green, clean industrialization. Our continent also has tremendous renewable energy potential, and Kenya is a front runner here. In a world imperiled by impending climate disaster occasioned by emissions from past industrialization, the greening imperative at hand is a matter of existential necessity. This makes Africa the global hub of the next industrial revolution. Mr. Vice President, listen to me again. I said, this makes Africa the global hub of the next industrial revolution. Kenya is the gateway to Africa. The future is here, and we shall imagine, design, and build it together with IBM and many others. We are committed to securing this country's future by deploying technology to deliver solutions that enrich human experience and well-being, keep the economy competitive, diverse and robust, and enhance the resilience and security of communities and the nation against all threats. We recognize technology as the catalyst, which will facilitate the highest actualization of our potential, efficient use of our resources, and optimal exploitation of opportunities, and therefore a means of ensuring that we make the best use of the limited resources to maximize value for Kenya as citizens and as consumers. The government's bottom-up economic transformation agenda promotes science, technology, and innovation as an enabler of excellence in all sectors. We also recognize information and communication technology as a competitive economic sector that by itself and as a powerful enabler of transformation in other sectors of the national economy. When we had a conversation as Kenyans between digital and analog, many people did not know where this was going. But I can confirm today that we have moved Kenya to a digital space from in very diverse sectors. Today we have, and I can mention at least 6 sectors that today we are using technology and the digital place to drive our policy, our programs, and our agenda. One, today we are having a robust conversation as Kenyans on delivery of government services using the digital space. We are moving our analog data, paper, and all manner of spaces into a digital platform. As I speak to you today, we have transited over 10,000 government services onto the digital platform, something that many people did not imagine. Just 8 months ago, we had only 320 government services online or on the digital space. Today, we have 10,000, and next week, I will be launching the digital ID that will make it possible for Kenyans across our country to be digitally identified and to be able to access government services using their digital identity. Number 2, we have delivered our MSME program, including financial inclusion. On the back of M-Pesa, today we are delivering our credit availability and credit rating and credit assessment on a digital platform. Close to 15 million Kenyans have access to the Hustler Fund. 7 million of them repeated customers because of the digital space and because of digital devices. Number 3, we supplied our fertilizer using an e-forger. Many people did not believe that this was doable. We had problems with brokers and middlemen and crooks that stole our fertilizer. But because of technology, this year, we didn't have a single loss to our farmers. Our farmers had access to their fertilizer, and we intend to buy their produce again using a digital platform. We are slowly but surely transforming our agricultural sector using technology. As I talk to you, number 4, in Parliament, there is legislation that is going to make it possible for us to deliver our health programs on a digital platform. We have discussed this extensively with all the stakeholders. I am very happy that yesterday the National Assembly passed the necessary bills. They will now proceed to go to Senate. Those in the Senate will proceed to go to the National Assembly. And in a couple of weeks, we will have built the ecosystem that is going to make it possible for us to deliver on universal health, a challenge that has been with us for close to 17 years. I am very proud that technology will now make it possible for us to deliver our universal health coverage on a digital platform, whether it is registration, assessment of whether they qualify for what category of our National Hospital Insurance Fund, how we are going to process claims, how we are going to pay the claims, technology is coming in handy, and we are very proud of what we are doing. On the education front, we are using technology to leverage on everything that we are doing, including assessment of students who qualify for different categories of scholarships. What we are calling the mean testing instrument that again leverages on technology. And we are making tremendous progress in that space of education. It has given us an opportunity to turn around and have a new model of delivery of education funding, again, courtesy of technology. I was very happy this morning listening to the scientists and the researchers here at IBM, and already the collaboration between IBM and the Office of the Special Envoy in my office on climate change, that we are now going to use technology, not just to make sure that we keep our promise on the delivery of the planting of 15 billion trees, but it's also going to enable us to find where are we going to do it. But much more importantly, it's going to assist us in the carbon markets ecosystem that I committed that it's going to be one of our very big exports going into the future. Again, I just wanted to give this example as to what technology is doing to us and what the digital space, the amount of scope and partnership that we can achieve and the amount of progress that we can attain working together with partners like IBM. It is our aim, therefore, to turn this country into a hub of productivity and competitiveness by providing ICT infrastructures that enable Kenyans pursue employment opportunities and enjoy market goods and government services conveniently. I just said that in that education space, what our Ministry of ICT is doing with the ICT hubs across the country, the hotspots across the country, is not only to increase commerce, e-commerce that is, but also digital jobs for our young people. So again, technology is working with us. The digital space is giving us leverage on digital jobs, remote jobs that we are already working with various sectors. Under the digital superhighway strategy pillar of our agenda, we are optimizing our position as the gateway of 6 submarine fiber optic cables and the existing potential of 9,000 kilometers of terrestrial fiber optic networks, with another 100,000 kilometers of last mile connectivity to serve every part of Kenya. And as we roll this out, it is an opportunity for companies like IBM and others to work with us to leverage on this space so that technology can help us transform our partnership, our relationship, and also our country. Additionally, the construction of a digital hub for every constituency and installation of free Wi-Fi connectivity at every urban center is underway throughout Kenya. We have enhanced the digitization of government services, as I said, beyond 100,000 government services, and this is why the local assembly of affordable smartphones is critical, and I want to tell you, is underway. More services shall be brought online shortly, with the aim of digitizing every service by the end of this year and employing a unique digital identifier to promote security, efficiency, and inclusivity in digital service delivery. Consa Technopolis, an emerging science, technology, and innovation cluster, and the flagship of our national project to actualize Africa's Silicon Savannah here in Kenya, is already up and running, and the response from the local, regional, and global technology community is highly promising. We have also embarked on sector-wide ICT institutional reforms covering formal policy and legislation to establish an enabling environment for digital business, research, and innovation. I want to encourage the Ministry of ICT that it's now time for us to focus on an AI strategy, an AI policy, and AI legislation to provide and underpin the opportunities that are clearly in the horizon coming from the AI space. As I have said before, we have our eyes firmly in the horizon, scanning the possibilities that lie in the future. It is well established that economies where research and development are a policy priority tend to stay competitive over time because the future is full of possibilities for them. Our digital master plan is intended to fulfill this role by enhancing our ability to confront an uncertain future with a lot of confidence because we will have the research to work with us. Because of our commitment to create an enabling environment for digital competitiveness, Kenya has attracted many technology companies, including the global big tech, which have found a promising ecosystem from which to launch transformational endeavors, not just in our country, but by extension in our continent. The IBM Research Africa's presence here as IBM's 12th research lab and the first of its kind on our continent is therefore not accidental. By the time the Kenya lab opened in 2013, IBM's footprint in Kenya was 55 years old, comprising collaboration with both the government and numerous local businesses. The agreement, which established the framework for collaboration between the government through the Ministry of ICT and IBM, set the stage for a new era with the setting up of Africa's pioneering industrial research facility and paved the way for IBM to introduce its suite of transformative solutions which are products of relentless innovation. And we see it every time we come here and every time we engage with IBM. They include cloud computing and hybrid cloud platforms that support businesses and government agencies as well as other organizations, enabling them modernize and secure their data by migrating to the cloud. Data analytics, and of course, artificial intelligence-driven solutions, on the other hand, confer the competitive advantage and significant benefits of data-driven decisions on a broad range of critical strategic areas like healthcare diagnostics, financial fraud detection, and the optimization of agricultural productivity besides powering economic growth and innovation. In addition, blockchain technology solutions offer transparency, security, and efficiency in the management of supply chains, land, and financial transactions, with a promise of transformative applications in areas like agricultural value chains and land registry management. You will be amazed to know what we are doing in our land registry space using the technology that is available to us. And you will also remember that according to the plan, our delivery model for the bottom-up economic transformation agenda is the value chain framework to rationalize resource allocation and facilitate coordination. We recognize IBM's leadership in cybersecurity, which has now emerged as a critical strategic priority for all actors on our digital landscape and for government especially as we prepare to digitize all our government services and deliver on them. These services have benefited the banking industry, financial and revenue administration institutions with robust cybersecurity and seamless digital transformation, and I want to congratulate IBM for doing very well in this space. I especially commend the research lab, which provided a platform for Kenyan researchers I saw them here this morning, Wamburi and group, in collaboration with the Ministry of Industrialization to implement a program which initiated improvements to Kenya's ease of doing business profile. After taking informed decisions on the basis of insights supported by robust analytics, the country's ranking in the World Bank Ease of Doing Business report improved by over 80 positions to the 3rd place in our part of the continent. And I remember working very early mornings with Charity and others as we worked on this program. Without a doubt, IBM has a solid track record in using technology to facilitate innovation, transformation of productivity, and improvements in competitiveness. I commend IBM for their confidence in Kenyan talent, including researchers and analysts who play leading roles in various projects, including, of course, trusting the directorship of IBM Lab here to our own sister, Charity, there. And I don't think it was so much about her being Kenyan. It was so much about her being competent and being able to do the job. This is why on the 10th anniversary of a highly fruitful collaboration, I look to IBM for further progress, especially in training Kenyans in high-end technology skills, including but not limited to facilitating access by more Kenyans to pathways leading to PhD-level qualifications in high-tech science at whatever cost. Of course, including no cost. I also encourage IBM to do its part in scaling up our current collaboration and open up the research lab for the benefit of Kenyan universities, as well as government ministries, departments, and agencies, those that are in need of research. The government of Kenya will set in motion appropriate mechanisms to expeditiously facilitate the extension of the MOU on collaboration with respect to the IBM research lab based here. I can tell you we have absolutely no problem. In fact, we have every reason to extend the MOU that currently exists. And if anybody had any doubt, my presence here, together with all of our engagements, should give you comfort of our commitments that we shall honor them in full, in due course, and on time. Looking back, there is so much achievement to celebrate and appreciate about the 10 years of collaboration between the government of Kenya and IBM. Looking into the future, there is reason to be confident that uncertainty will be met with a high capacity for technological innovation and commitment to collaboration in designing a future consistent with our highest aspirations. The future of our dreams will unfold in Africa's Silicon Savannah, right here in Kenya. And I have been told this morning that Silicon Savannah is not a place, that the Silicon Savannah is a whole movement and a whole concept that must encompass every part of our republic, and also the digital and geostrategic gateway that we are to East Africa and to Africa at large. Thanks to collaborative initiatives like IBM Research Africa, that future will be imagined, designed, developed, and implemented here in Kenya, together with all our stakeholders. I want to say thank you very much. I am very proud of this moment that we are celebrating success, not just about the past, but we are also confident about the future. It cannot be better than what we have. Thank you, Mr. Vice President, for finding time to come and join us in this celebration. They are important to the government of Kenya because we have made a deliberate, intentional decision that technology is going to be front and back of the delivery of government services in Kenya, and also building our economy, as well as making sure that we deliver on all the social services that we have to, from education to health to water and all the other aspects of the commitments we have made to the people of Kenya. And we will work with you as partners as we work with other technology providers in a space where competition gives us the very best for us to move forward. Thank you very much. God bless you. Asanteni sana.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. President. Let us all remain upstanding. Let us be upstanding for the national anthem of Kenya.